Elder Scrolls 6 has been one of the most anticipated titles for fans around the world. The long drawn-out teaser trailer and the silence from Bethesda Softworks has made the wait for Elder Scrolls seem like an eternity. But new Xbox leadership and a shift in strategy means that Elder Scrolls 6 may not only be coming very soon, but it'll also be exclusive. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about an update for Elder Scrolls 6, when we're going to see the reveal, and how it's going to be exclusive. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content, and let's talk about Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 is coming along further in development than most people realize, and there are many rumors and leaks about the setting in Hammerfell and wild plans for pirate shipbuilding and on-the-sea battles that will take the place of Starfield's shipbuilding and intergalactic dogfights. Elder Scrolls 6 could see you fighting on land and sea, but everyone wants to know, is the next Elder Scrolls game coming anytime soon, or is it going to be just like Fallout 76 or Starfield? Head of platform for Xbox Matt Booty recently visited Bethesda and said, quote, "I can tell you, having visited Bethesda and sat with Todd and seen Elder Scrolls playing, it looks amazing and it's coming along well. And we'll make sure to announce it and reveal it at the right time." Close quote. Asha Sharma, the CEO of Xbox, has reportedly told Bethesda leadership that the era of decade-long development cycles is over. And yes, that includes Elder Scrolls 6. Asha Sharma admitted in a recent memo to employees that the gaming division has become overextended and they have to plan to crank out the brand's most popular games without reducing the workforce, but instead putting more people on these big projects. Bethesda Softworks has the full team on Elder Scrolls 6, even though the initial reveal was 8 years ago this month. The wait has been excruciating, and Todd Howard explains why they announced it so early.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think everybody knows that why we announced it that way then. Yeah, it's not my preference. My preference is always you hear nothing, and then one day the game is out. Like there's an announcement and the game is out. Like that's my perfect scenario. That can't always be the case. And at that time, we wanted to signal to people, because it's the obvious question. When you announce a 76, are you still going to be doing single-player games? So you announce a Starfield. The next question is, well, what about Elder Scrolls 6? So that really was... and even then, look, we know where the game is set. We know some things we're doing. Hey, this is going to be happening. And so, look, like I said, it's going well. We're happy with it. It's going to be a while yet. We're happy with where we pushed the technology and how the game is coming together. You know, we're able to play it. We're about to pass a big milestone internally. The majority of the studio is on the game and some of our partners.
There are major concerns for people that didn't love Starfield or Fallout 76, but there is a lot to look forward to with Elder Scrolls 6, and Todd Howard assures people they are building a classic and fan-loved sequel for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, in many ways, Fallout 76 and Starfield are a little bit of a creative detour. And, as we come back to Elder Scrolls 6 that we're doing now, we're coming back to that kind of classic style that we've missed, that we know really, really well. We're really happy with the new stuff that we're doing, but also kind of world systems loading, how we bring things into the world, how we get that detail close to the camera kind of immediately. We have a style of game that we really, really like that I think people expect from us. There's a lot of innovation to be done there still, so that when you step into a world, you feel like you're experiencing it really for the first time, a game like that. We're happy with where it's headed right now. That's what I could say.
But what's taking Bethesda so long to create Elder Scrolls 6? Todd Howard explains how they always overlap their projects as they're wrapping up another one. Back in 2022, they were finalizing Starfield, but they already were into development of Elder Scrolls 6, even as far as completing the first part of the opening mission.
We were always overlapping. So while we're making one game, as we're, getting in the throes of it or wrapping it up, probably by the midpoint of one game, we've had enough conversations to understand what the next one's going to be. I usually have the beginning of the game worked out. I like to think about, okay, how's the game start? So take Elder Scrolls 6. We figure out where it's set. What's the tone? What are the big features? We discussed the beginning of the game, which we've had for a very long time.
If Bethesda started working on Elder Scrolls as early as 2022 in pre-production and wrapped Starfield at the end of 2023, there's a logical explanation why Elder Scrolls 6 could come out as early as the end of 2027. Looking at the Bethesda leaks from 2022, Starfield was planned for 2021, and the global pandemic pushed everything at least 1 to 2 years. One of those years was an actual delay from Xbox themselves. It's almost calculatable with Oblivion Remaster and Indiana Jones coming out in 2024 instead of the reported leak of 2022, and Doom Year Zero, which is Dark Ages, released in 2025 instead of 2023, a 2-year gap. There are a couple of secret project codenames on this list, but Elder Scrolls 6, according to the schedule, was set to release in 2024. If you add the calculatable 2-year delay, then Elder Scrolls 6 should have released by the end of this year of 2026. Todd Howard attended the recent Xbox showcase in Los Angeles, crossing the country to only witness Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online expansions. Many have speculated that 1 or 2 of Bethesda's biggest titles were supposed to be revealed this year, but were quietly delayed. Most people will tell you, based on the worst case scenario, that Elder Scrolls is still years away, 2028 or even as late as 2030. But with the extra year for Starfield and 2 years added on for the pandemic, that still puts Elder Scrolls 6 coming out at the end of the year in 2027. Ashish Sharma has been very clear since taking over Xbox, saying the gaming division needs to ship more games, more consistently and with higher quality. Her internal message, according to multiple reports, is blunt. She said, quote, "We cannot take 8 to 10 years to build every major franchise entry," close quote. She's pushing for shorter development cycles, better project management, more efficient engine pipelines, and cross-studio collaboration. This is where Xbox Game Studios comes in. Studios like id Software, Machine Games, and ZeniMax Online are reportedly helping with tools, animation, and world-building tech for Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda Game Studios is no longer building the game alone. Obsidian Entertainment, the team behind Outer Worlds and Avowed, put an incredible amount of games out, but a mediocre projection of sales. They still have 100 plus people at their studio, a talent that can make open world action RPGs. So it's very likely that Obsidian Entertainment has been told to wait on their next project while they'll be a major support studio, many of them former collaborative employees that used to work with Bethesda, to help speed along the development of Elder Scrolls 6.
Several years bringing Creation Engine 2, which powers Starfield, up to Creation Engine 3, that's going to power Elder Scrolls 6 and beyond.
Creation Engine 3.0 is going to be a major advantage for Elder Scrolls 6, a seamless open world with very few loading screens. The team has worked since Starfield launched to trim down and make Creation Engine more efficient, even eliminating loading screens in Starfield. Rumors are pointing to Elder Scrolls 6 being a seamless open world with interior locations that can be entered and explored without compartmentalizing them in the engine and making them separate loading spaces. This will ramp up immersion and vibrancy in a lifelike world, all paired with incredible graphics they tooled into Starfield and adapting that to the medieval fantasy for Elder Scrolls. The possibilities are exciting fans. But let's talk about exclusivity. Elder Scrolls 6 is likely in the category to be exclusive to the Xbox platform. Contrary to most fans' belief or reasoning, Xbox leadership recently stated their non-live service games would be exclusive to Xbox. Forget about the old leadership saying legacy titles like Elder Scrolls and Fallout should remain on PlayStation. That could be completely removed as Xbox leverages their biggest games to draw people into their ecosystem. The major difference here is the gigantic franchise, like Elder Scrolls, would not be hidden away on one device or a piece of plastic. Elder Scrolls 6 would be releasing across Xbox Series consoles, the upcoming Project Helix, PCs, handhelds, and any device connected to cloud gaming. Simply put, if you want to play Elder Scrolls 6, you only have to play on something besides just a PS5. But why would Xbox make such a huge game exclusive at the risk of losing money on PlayStation? Xbox's CEO Ashish Sharma explained that drawing people to their ecosystem to buy their games on their platform will build up a healthier Xbox, which was hampered over the past 2 years by putting their best games on competing consoles. But when will we see Elder Scrolls 6 beyond just a flyover animation of mountains? Rumors are pointing to Elder Scrolls 6 being revealed next year at the Xbox Showcase, or possibly making its first reveal appearance at the Developer Direct in January of 2027, just a few months away. If Todd Howard truly wants to reveal Elder Scrolls 6 just before release, we will have to wait a little while longer to see what they've been cooking, and hopefully it will slot in nicely at the end of a packed 2027. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you want to learn more about the rumors, the leaks, and speculation about what you'll actually do in Elder Scrolls 6, the location of the game, the mechanics, the factions, and so much more, I've got a couple of videos I'll link here at the end if you want to check out what the possibilities will be for that world and what you'll be doing when it comes to gameplay details. This is a pretty good time to talk about Bethesda and Xbox as they ramp up to get more work done for Fallout and Elder Scrolls, getting more teams and studios on it, which is something that's been sorely needed for a long time. But hopefully those extra eyes will create the fan favorite Elder Scrolls 6 that we've been waiting for a long time. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. You want to further support what we're doing, you can hit the join button if you haven't already subscribed, and that'll get you early access to videos, some 10 to 12 hours before they go up on public, give you first shot in the comment section, which could get you a lot of likes if you say something really, really good. And it also gives you custom emojis that I created that you can use in the live chat for the Ecstasy podcast. That's a live show we do every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's about a 2-hour show. Mag and I will break down everything that's been going on in the industry, all the interviews and leaks and rumors. That's a really great show live, and it's also on demand on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms. Thanks for checking out that. Let me know what you think about Elder Scrolls 6. Do you really think it's going to be exclusive? Or do you think it's coming out very, very soon? I really have a feeling that we're going to see it either in January of next year, or it's going to get that big reveal in the summertime and come out by the end of the year. But I could be wrong, but how could it possibly take several more years than it actually is supposed to? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And while you do that, as I always say, please be nice.